Okay, for the next topic, we are going to cover what input is, what is the meaning of processing, and then output. And then we'll also talk about how to display the output by using the print function. So here, input, processing, and output. So typically, a computer consists of 3 steps, that is receiving the input, performing operations which are required based upon the program or based upon the needs of the consumer. And then finally, the last job of it is to produce the output. So receiving the input is nothing but any input or any data that the program receives while it is running. So for example, let's take the previous example, that is calculating the gross pay of an employer. So let's say I'm the employer and you have already written the code and then you are executing the program. So when I'm executing your written code from my end, what I'll be saying is, first step, I will hit execute and then it will ask me to enter the total number of hours that I have worked. So whatever number that I give will be the input for your code. And the next step, it will be what is the hourly pay rate in my company. So let's say it is $15 per hour. So then the next number that I enter will be the input from your for your program. And then when it performs some process on the input, an example can be mathematical calculation. So as we are talking about gross pay calculation, gross pay is calculated by performing the multiplication in between the number of hours worked and the hourly pay rate. So the next step from my backend, like the consumer or the user, in this case, me, I will not be seeing your code, right? So I will not be seeing whatever is happening from the backend. So I will only see the result. So from the backend, your program will take the input that I have just given. It will perform the operation and then it will give me the result. So let's say I have entered 3 hours is my total number of hours I have worked in this week. And then the hourly pay rate is 15. So I will be getting 3 times 15, that is 45 as my output. So here the last step, that is produce output, is the section where you'll see the statement that has print the total gross pay is, and then gross pay, which is your variable that you have defined. Let's say that is a variable that you have defined. So typically for a program, it has 3 steps. One is receiving the input. Second is performing some operations based upon the input, and then producing the output. So here is a typical diagram. So you have number of hours worked and the hourly pay rate as the inputs to your system or to your program, which will calculate the total gross pay, and then it will produce the gross pay as the output. So 15, sorry, it's going to be 3, this is 15. So the output is 45. So now when you are displaying output with the print function, whenever you want to display something in Python, we use print. We call the function print. So function is nothing but a pre-written code that performs some operation. So all you are doing is in this particular topic is you are going to call the function that is print, and each function has its arguments. Argument is nothing but the data that is given inside the function. So you will have print, open and close parenthesis, and whatever is inside that parenthesis is called as an argument. Statements in a program execute that are that they appear, so in the order that they appear. So we are going to work from top to down approach. So if you have the first statement as print, so that is you're printing something that can be, this is the beginning of program 1, that is your argument inside your print statement or your print function. So when you execute that program, the first statement will be, this is the beginning of program 1, and then you will have the rest of the statements. So the order of execution is always from top to down, top to bottom. So whichever line appears first will be executed first. So we will also take a look at like the .py file, and then I will also bring that .py file outside so that we can take a look at that together. So but this regular syntax for a print function is print followed by open and close parentheses because it is a function, and hello world is the argument in this case. And also notice here we are working on the interactive mode, like in this part. So whenever you are working on the interactive mode, as I've mentioned before, you will be seeing some arrows as well. So arrow, that is print, or that is a prompt that it is actually waiting for you to type something there. That is a cursor, in other words. And then print, open parenthesis, hello world, close parenthesis. When you hit enter, you will be seeing whatever that you have written inside this print function as your output. So the argument in this case is hello world, and the function that you are calling is print. I hope this is clear. And then we'll be working with strings and string literals as well. So strings are nothing but sequence of characters that are used as data, and string literal is that appears in the actual code of a program. So we'll see how to declare these two as well. So whenever you are working with strings, you must either enclose that string by using single quote or double quote. So take a look at this. We have single quote here because hello world is a sequence of characters, which is nothing but a string. So whenever you are working with strings or string literals, you should make sure that you are enclosing this in either single quote or double quote. If you do not enclose this in single quote or double quote, that will be considered as a string literal. That is some data which is already being declared in your program. So we'll see how that works as well when you are looking at the .py file. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. Print 1, 2, 3. The statement will print 1, 2, and 3. So that is because we are having triple quotes. We can, if you have just a single quote or double quote, the statement or the output will be in one line. But if you want to make a separation by using 3 different lines, like if you want to see the output in 3 different lines, then you can use triple quotes. Or we also have some special characters that you can use to create output in 3 different lines. We'll see how that works as well. Okay, so now let's take a look at this .py file. So first statement is, and also we are inside the script mode. We are not in the regular interactive mode. So how I got this is I have my folder which has all the .py files that are already existing in your modules. So whenever you are working with files like this, instead of double clicking this, you can just right click and edit with idle and then select any version of Python. I just have two, but you can have any version of Python. So this is for Windows users. For Mac users, if you are having any difficulties, just let me know and we can figure this out together. Okay. So now let's coming back to this. I'm inside the first print function.py file. So you see the statement print hello world. Now when I run this file, you will see the output in the shell. So this is the script and this is the shell. So this is your output, hello world. So when you are working with single quotation marks, it is the same as the above statement, that is print hello world. And you must also be noticing the hashtag marks here. Hashtags are nothing but comments. So we'll talk about comments in the next part, but whichever statement that you do not want the program to execute, you can just comment it by using the hashtag symbol in Python. So the first statement is print case Austin. Second is the address. Third is also the continuation of the address. So when you run this program again, it must be saved, of course. So you'll see the output, Kate Austin, 1, 2, 3, Circle, and Drive, Nashville, etc. So same thing with the double quotes. So, and also you can go to format and then uncomment region. So when you are trying to comment and uncomment a block of statements, instead of going to each and every statement, we can directly just take the block statements and I can click uncomment the statements. And now when I run this, Control S, I'm saving the program, run module. So this is from the double quotes and this is from the single quotes. So now if you want to use some special characters, so let's comment out the region again. Don't want these two to execute, so I'm commenting out. Now, if you want to use the special characters like apostrophes or quotations. So, and exclamations, sorry. Oh, I did uncomment again, my bad. Uncomment, okay. So you can also have some special characters like exclamations and apostrophes inside your print statements. So if you run that, save that again. So here are your statements. And You can also use the double quote inside your statement. So this statement, it says your assignment is to read Hamlet by tomorrow. And I am having Hamlet inside double quotes. So you'll see the statement, your assignment is to read Hamlet by tomorrow. Now I can also use triple quotes. So let's see what happens when I execute that by using triple quotes. Control S and then F5. So I'm reading Hamlet tonight. So there is not much difference when I'm using triple quotes when I have my complete argument in one sentence. What happened? But if I am using the triple quotes and I have the comment, have my statements in the next line, in that case, you will see the output like this: 1, 2, 3. And notice the color change. You have all the arguments in green and the parentheses are in black. The function itself or the keyword is in blue. So this is also important, like, when you're trying to figure out what the error is. So in this case, I will be getting a syntax error because I did not close the parenthesis, right? So run module, it says that was never closed. So that is for you to just look out and then close the bracket. And also, did you notice a highlighted part? So once I close this, this is highlighted. That means it has one opening brace and then one closing brace. So let's execute this once again. And you will see 1, 2, 3 the different lines. So I hope print function is clear. And in the next topic, we'll be talking about variables.